about to jumpstart your day. Thank you very much for tuning in to Jumpstart on ITV with the Egg Ball. I hope your day has been going great, but you know that regardless of how your day is going, once you see me on your screen, your day is about to be so much better. Today's episode of Jumpstart is one you see the smile on my face. I don't get this excited for nothing, just understand. I'm sharing today's episode with somebody I definitely admire a lot. A young Nigerian doing big things, and big things, you like. I'm eager to introduce you to my guest, but let's set the mood with some really good music. And when we come back, I'll let you know who we'll be talking to. To give you a hint, it's the law. I'll be right back. Yes, you're still watching Jumpstart on ITV with the Ball, and my guest today is Ọbáfẹ Thanni, a poet whose works of poetry and prose have received Pushcart Prize nominations, graduated from the Faculty of Law, University of Ibadan, where he explored interest in international law, comparative literature, and analytical research models through an undergraduate thesis that appraised the modern applications of international law concept of domicile and earned a distinction under the supervision of Professor J.O.A. Akintayo. It is my pleasure to be talking to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Sir Ọbáfẹ, thank you for joining us. You look really nice.
Thank you.
Now, please, for the rest of the audience who don't know why I'm this excited, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my name is Ọbáfẹ Thanni, as you've said. I'm a graduate of the Faculty of Law with a primary interest in literature and a growing interest in litigation, disputes, election petitions, and things of that nature.
So you are a law graduate,
yes.
But you also have a passion for literature and writing, as you said.
Mm.
How do you find balance?
I should answer that question fully in some 5 years, thereabouts, because balance is an ongoing negotiation. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But the key there would be to remember what is important to you. So literature, writing, editing, and everything that comes under that is my life's work. So I always remind myself of that. Law is something I find very interesting and I am thankfully competent at doing. So I'm always trying to ensure that while I'm doing what I'm competent at, I don't forget what I am here for primarily.
I feel you. Now, I'm going to ask something you were not prepared for. Did you choose to study law?
Yes.
Always your choice?
Yes.
Long term, what did you see yourself doing with law? Since your interest is literature, right? How did you see that playing a factor in studying law?
So the dynamic is interesting. I have both lawyer parents. My mom has a doctorate in law. My father practices law, has several years of experience, decades. Now, what is interesting there is it was only much later when I started studying law that I figured out that my interest was motivated by language. So you write something in a statute and people are bound by it. You write something in a contract and people are bound by it. You change the wordings. You put by somewhere, you put shall instead of may, and the consequences are different. And I was very struck by that. But I didn't know that what I was struck by was language, not necessarily the legal implications of it. But I only figured that out when I started, in fact, studying the law. So it had always been language, even before I knew.
I feel you, and that's very interesting. Nice to understand why you're so good at what you do. It's in the blood. What are some core values that you currently have that you feel like some young Nigerians, especially in this new generation, can benefit from?
Okay.
What do you think makes you a better human?
What do I think makes me a better human?
Nigerian. Let's
okay.
I know the human part to throw you off. A better Nigerian.
I mean, it's just the conversation will be longer, right? A better Nigerian. Focus. You identify what you want and you try not to negotiate with the costs because it can become very tempting to negotiate the costs. I do have a decent work ethic, so I think that's good. You have something to do, you get it done, you motivate yourself through it if you have to. Passion is also quite important. There are distances that you cannot fuel yourself to travel if you are not passionate about, your destination or the journey in itself. Tenderness is also good. I know it doesn't sound like, no, but you do have to be tender because the world is tough. and the world will try to convince you otherwise. So, yeah. And a very key thing, my word is my bond.
Yeah.
I learned that from both my parents as well. If I give you my word, it's as good as gold.
Evidenced by the fact that he's here today. But that is an inside joke between the two of us. I have to go and swallow people to make sure that this guy makes my heart. It doesn't show up. I have the strength to cry. Okay, so you see how I started the show by saying, from a few conversations with you, I already figured, this is somebody you can learn from. Who are some Nigerians that you see what they do in whatever field they're in, and you're like, this is somebody I could learn from. We have one in common. I already know, but I would also like to know if there are others.
Just Nigerians, right?
Just Nigerians. I like to keep it within our people.
Yeah. There's someone I've had the pleasure of working with and listening to. Is a friend, TJ Benson. TJ Benson is a writer. Okay. So yeah, I do learn from TJ Benson because he does something that is quite interesting in the nature of the interests that he manages. So TJ Benson is an artist, he's also a writer, he has interest in dance, he's doing an academic degree, so that varied nature of interest. And of course in the legal profession as well, in the firm where I am currently an intern for a while more, I had the pleasure of working directly with the principal partner and head of chambers. And these are two dynamic individuals who their knowledge of the law is quite inspiring. They can see angles to things that even you have to learn how to keep up with. So that's Ayotunde Ogunleye, SAN, and Iniobong ABAP, Esquire.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are,
and then
to keep the list short.
To our person in common, because I was quite so pleasantly surprised that you're a fan of our content.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I met a very serious legal mind. To find out that he watches court, he felt like discovering that Desperate Housewives was your guilty pleasure TV.
That's not the case, but yeah.
Well, I found out that you have a certain respect for our work, and I want to know, why were you drawn to our work, and what makes you such a fan?
I enjoy Kotie's work because it comes from a place of trust in herself. I was watching very early Kotie. I know I'm sounding like all those fans who say, I was listening to the musician before it blew, and but Kotie went to ISI, like I did. And it's just so interesting to see what she has been able to accomplish by taking a chance on herself. She started very experimental. She was just trying to figure things out, as we all are. And step by step, and she kept on refining. It was beautiful to see that transformation. It was like watching a seed become a flower in real time. It's so rewarding. So, and I also know how much effort goes into producing work like that, right? It's a dynamic quality of our time that time is always distorted. We're here now talking. We've been trying to organize this for how long?
Quite a long time.
Well, don't put it like that.
If I see him on your show, I need to ask you, how long did it take you to do it? Because I know how long it took me.
But the idea is that I don't know how long this will run for. That's just a fraction of what it took to exactly. So same goes for Kotie. She gives us a 10-15 minute video, and it looks like it's 10-15 minutes, but it's months and months and months of work of producing and editing, and so
I understand that. So it's safe to say you're on her side in the Davido debacle.
What Davido debacle?
This is why it's law. But I definitely do understand and share that sentiment. I think other than Kotie, in case some of you are not very familiar with Kotie's story of experimenting. I remember one of the videos that was very common that actually made me a fan was when she did attempt to interview Wizkid and showed that she could not do it. Because I feel like in this generation, people see people do amazing things all the time on the internet and then believe that, me too, I'm Superman. I'll just go out and make it happen. You're not realizing that this person showing you this amazing thing is not showing you all of the work that went into putting that amazing thing together. So it was nice to watch somebody fail with grace, fail with such grace that you can only think, look, if you failed after doing all this, wow, I can't wait to see what it looks like when you win. I can't wait to see what that looks like. And then moving forward, you're seeing her with Don Jazzy, and then I'm thinking, wait, and it's whiskey. Sorry, it's the new album that's the reason for this. I'm sorry. But yes, and if you're not familiar with the Corty story, the person I hold in high regard like that would be Black Bones, because I was a fan of Black since when he was in OAU. I was a fan of Black since President Emeka. That impression of Black.
Emeka must shine.
Yeah, that's not so to see you go from that to all of this. Wow! And I do feel like as Nigerians, it's nice when we see our fellow ordinary young Nigerians do extraordinary things.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm excited that JUMPSTART gets to be one of the first places to have the pleasure of your company as you go on to do extraordinary things.
Thank you.
I will show you people the things they have done before so you know what I'm saying. Anyway, moving forward. Networking and community. So this happened because we met somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not giving them credits until they pay me my money. This happened because we met somewhere and I discovered, in my community there's somebody that I could come on my program with and have an enlightening conversation that would be beneficial to other people. So how important is networking and community to you?
Oh, it's great. I hold it in high regard because you just never know who is in the room, or who is listening, or who is watching. Something I've enjoyed prioritizing more is vertical and horizontal networks. So we are more horizontal. Vertical would be, for instance, where I work, the principal partner is vertical, right? Because he ranks by every stretch of the imagination much higher. It can be limiting to only look at someone who is above you.
Yeah.
Because that's the easy direction to look. Even when you're expecting something to happen, you look up, right? You might just need to look to your side. You never know who is there. And maybe that's where the quality of tenderness comes in, because I know poet, it's the poet in me, but like you try to treat everyone in equal regard, not because you think there is some advantage to be gotten, and you never know.
True.
Just the way you've conducted, there should be a bare minimum, you don't go below.
True.
If you hold yourself to that standard, you just might have treated the right person correctly. And then, you have a conversation or you're at a show.
To translate, for people who were like me 3 years ago, or people who don't open books, your friends are valuable.
Of course.
Everybody you meet has value to them. You just need to treat them well enough to discover what the value is. And thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I want to get your thoughts on something.
Yeah.
Japa. Let's keep it brief. But where do you stand on Japa?
That's too simplistic a position to take, though. I can't simply say don't do it, because everybody that does it has a very valid reason for doing it. Okay. Even though there are circumstances where you'd be putting your life in danger by doing it. Lives have been lost in a pursuit. But to lean on poetry for a bit, the Sudanese poet said, no one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. Right? So that paints the image for you. It's not, you don't stroll out of your country.
True.
Because regardless of your accomplishment or whatever you're able to do there is a regard in which you are held there that would never be equal to home.
Yes. Right?
And even the act of leaving home makes the word home false in a certain way. Because when you leave, return, So I think everybody that leaves, even if they don't, quote a poet while saying it, everybody that leaves has an understanding that that's what is at stake. Yeah. So they're not strolling again out of their borders. It's not a choice that is lightly made. So I respect it, but at the same time, the ideal position would be that more of us stayed back to build our country. After all, it is our country. But I understand perfectly why people would leave.
So more of us stay back to fix our country. Yeah. What do you think the young people of Nigeria can be actively doing to fix the country?
Well, more people will have to be in politics, that's for sure. Because policy and decision making is a very long and often thankless process that if you are intent on changing what is happening there, you would have to be involved. Yes. But of course, passion plays a role there. I, for instance, don't have a passion for politics. And it's not because I think of politics in a certain way. It's just I couldn't possibly do it. I've seen people who do it. I have friends who are activists, have worked in government, work in government. Why the side eye?
No, you look very much like a campaign poster.
No, I do not.
I see it already. Femi, the man for the many.
No. That's a bad poster.
I see.
But the idea is my passion doesn't lie there. It would be myopic for a person who had passion in that regard to say, oh, the politics is too dirty, or I don't want to get involved with people like that. You have to go to the grassroots. So definitely that's something to do. Again, it's about systems, right? It's institutions. It's something that we sorely lack. Institutions comprise of individuals. It goes without saying. But what kind of addition are you making? I don't want to overplay or underplay the role of an individual. To overplay it would be to say, once you decide to be a good person, the institutions will be good. It's not that simple. But you would also be underplaying it by saying, there's nothing I can do, the system is bad. Because if you think of yourself as a drop of water, the ocean is a multitude of drops anyway. So be a good drop and then try to see what you can do. Hold yourself to a standard and stay by it.
I feel you. Thank you very much. It has been quite a lovely conversation so far. I'm sad that I have to almost call it therapy. However, to end, knowing everything you know now, with all your experiences gathered, if you could give one piece of advice to a younger version of you, what would you say to young Thanni, who has not done everything you've done so far, or aim to do so far, or are positioned to do so far? Who's just figuring it out as you are figuring it out? I know you haven't done that, don't worry, it's okay, I'm ahead of you.
I would say you should fail faster.
Fail faster?
Yeah. So I spend a lot of time ideating, like thinking about how it will look, what's the best trajectory to follow, what's the best path to pursue. And I do also have to thank my younger self because he went through with some things, right? He's like, we'll do it. Let's just go. But go faster. Go into leave the theory. Theory is great. Yeah. Think of the theory. Don't do things mindlessly, of course, but get to the acting part a bit quicker because I take a lot of time with that. And my younger self, of course, needs to hear that. So test it out. If it works, lovely. If it doesn't, also lovely.
This has been quite an insightful conversation. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for giving the pleasure
having you on the show. I do hope that sometime in the future we're able to have this.
I look forward to it.
On a grander scale.
Of course, you are going places, so I'll see you there.
I'll be following you. On that note, that's the size of the package today on Jumpstart with the Egbo. I hope you guys have had, a thing or two to take away from today's edition of the program. I'm going to say, just to recap, some of the things that stuck out to me was, one, it might be the people around you that hold the most value. You don't always have to look up. I'm going to say fail faster as well, because saying fail to a Nigerian is like giving a vampire sunlight. However, listening now is this valid advice. On that note, again, I hope you had a wonderful time with me as I've had with you. I have had, of course, the love. The real love.
I'm not a lawyer yet.
That is your problem.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Until next time, guys, I'm still a bomb cast. Enjoy the rest of your day.
In my heart, a boombox erupting in the library of my chest, like the fireworks that shake the windows, sighting the sky into 1,000 shimmering pieces. What matters is not how beauty arrives, but that it comes. So now I want us to play a game.
You see, I waited for this time. I've been hoping for someone like you. Hope you remember, I'm not doing this life without you. So hold on, 'cause baby, you know it. I go nowhere, this your matter go put me inside trouble, and that's fine by me. And you said you know when you call me my baby, I go enter told you this 1,000 times. Oh, if it's love you want, then I'll supply. Listen to me now. You're my life, my love, my honey. So just hold on, 'cause baby, you know I go nowhere. This your matter, go put me inside trouble, and that's fine by me. You said you know when you call me my baby, I go enter my motor and show. 'Cause I go nowhere. 'Cause I go nowhere. 'Cause I go nowhere. It's your matter, go put me inside trouble. That's fine by me. But you said you know when you call me my baby, I go